Hello, everybody!
Hello, and welcome to Weekly Stand-Up. I'm your host, Jessica Gonzalez. Joined is Mike, is
The
usually behind the scenes, pulling the strings, but today we've generously decided to let him host because
Thank
he's
you.
an excellent co-host. And yeah, we're so happy to have a show for you today. Happy Father's Day for those celebrating today. Also, it is Juneteenth. I hope that people are spending today in a way that is meaningful to them. What's up, Mike? Why don't we have Josh here? What did you do to him?
Well, Josh came to
Um,
feed me in the basement, as per usual, and I took the spoon and I gouged his eye out, and he didn't really want to be on
wow.
camera. Yeah, so, it's pretty embarrassing. I'm not that strong. I'm not a hunk like him, and, to be beaten in such a manner, kind of
Hmm.
demoralizing, so.
Oh, no, we love Mike on this show, but we actually have Josh is actually on vacation this week. I was out last week. We have like a nice little system going, so we don't get burned out, so it's good. I hope he's
Camping, no
enjoying
less.
himself. Apparently, he doesn't have his phone with him, which is even funnier because I get to tell him all of this week's news, and then next week when we have a show, so it'll be great.
I just
And yeah,
found
so
out. I found out that my girlfriend's brother is also mysteriously camping with people I don't know this weekend, so I like to believe that he's camping with Josh.
or he's gonna like harvest Josh's organs or something.
Well,
He's
the
just
eyes
like
are
it's
already
like
gone, so I mean that where's the value?
mm, fair. Yeah, I heard eyes go for like 100K on the black market. Same with kidneys.
Well, because like eyes aren't like it's like kidneys, right? Where like kidneys and eyes, you need new ones not because you lost your old ones, but because they just degrade, right? So like people get like
Fair. It's like
what?
a salvage title, right? Like you just get like a whole new car.
Yeah, yeah. What's the thing that
Oh,
us gamers have to worry about getting early? The I think it's starts on A, where your eyes get so crusty you can't see. What is that?
mm,
You have to get them scraped. I know is like how you fix it. You scrape your eyes.
that sounds
I
horrifying.
know. I
Like,
never wanted it to happen. Does someone in chat know? I'm gonna have to Google this. Hold on. I'm googling right now.
Google it, Google it. We're already
I
derailed. We're not even on our first topic today.
loss of
I love
sight.
this.
Um, I don't know how to. How would you word that? Handicapped?
Uh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh,
Also,
uh, let's see. Oh, conditions. Conditions. Loss of
gotcha.
sight conditions. Here we go.
Ooh,
Uh,
you are living on the edge, having all everything up in that screen. Or is that only I can see that
only you
right
can. That's a
now?
share screen. Only they can
Okay,
see
I
it.
was like,
Yeah,
ooh, saucy, you're showing everyone your
yeah,
history.
yeah. No. This is also a Firefox, which I only use for the show. So
Oh, so chat,
glaucoma. That's what it is.
glaucoma.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think so. I think that's
I
the
actually
one.
didn't know that,
I mean,
but I
unless
did know
it's
that like LASIK, the laser stuff can correct a lot of that stuff. I don't know if it corrects
right.
glaucoma, but I know that you can like laser your eyeballs.
I just want to say we need to laser more things. We need to laser eyeballs. We need to laser tattoos. We need to laser Bobby Kotick. There's just a lot of
We
good
need
things
to
to laser.
laser white
White
supremacists. We need to
supremacists, neo
laser,
Nazis,
yeah,
um,
agree.
Donald Trump. I think we already mentioned him by proxy, but all those things are great targets for
White
lasers.
supremacists, it's the same thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of great that Star Wars had it right. Just lasers everywhere. Okay.
Speaking of Star Wars, I know this isn't on our topics, but Star Wars had an amazing clap back to somebody that was like, why is Star Wars political? Because they were like
Yes.
supporting Pride, I think. I forget what they were specifically doing. Oh, it was the characters, right? Or something.
It had to do with just like general wokeness. I think I'm finding the tweet right now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because of Elon, there's like the anti-woke crowd, which is just the I want to be a shitty person and not be accountable for it crowd.
Yeah.
So someone said something to Star Wars, in which Star Wars replied and said, first of all, Star Wars is political. Like, where are you getting the
Yeah.
fact that Star Wars isn't political? We've always been political. Which was really funny because, like, hello, Wars is in
In
the
the
name.
title. Yeah.
So I just thought that was great.
They're
I
they're
love
they've
when
had
people
it. They've
get
been on it for
owned.
multiple weeks because they've been defending.
Yep.
I can't remember the actress name, but Reva's actress for a while now from all the crazy people, which I wish they started doing sooner with people like my boy John Boyega, but better late than never.
Agree.
And she's been great also. It's one of those things where I hate as a creator. Okay, I'm gonna go just like a mini platform right here. As a
Do it.
creator, as a writer, as a performer, the thing I hate most of all is when someone doesn't like something in a show or a movie and they attribute it to the front-facing piece of that holds no responsibility. So, for example, people, and I agree, Rose is like, in my opinion, I didn't like Rose's character arc in The Last Jedi. But that's not Rose's fault. No one should be bullying the actress for what the director casted her and directed her to do. That is the writer's fault. That is the director's fault. It's even maybe the producer's fault. Why are you bullying the actor who came to do the job they signed up for? Like, it's just
I don't know. I have a lot of takes on this specific thing only because I worked in game development, and I know when leadership messes up, our customer service is like literally frontline infantry. Like, people will come to our customer service and say, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to show up over there. And they harass the shit out of them. And that's probably why I really want these protections for workers. Hi, I'm Jess. I'm trying to unionize the video game industry. And yeah, like, it just is really bad that customer service reps abused. And 9 times out of 10, they agree with what you're saying. They're just, your rage is punch up, not down. Like, don't go where you're like, oh, I have an avenue. It's customer service. That's never that. Okay, because leadership never sees that stuff.
Yalgia has a follow-up I was going to, which is the one you saw, Yalgia, but there's a great one under that also, where they replied to Star Wars' clapback. Someone replied, it's like, oh, so what? It's just left. I can't find the original tweet, but I found like what the reference is. So they're like,
okay.
Like, we can't, it's only woke politics are on a platform. Like it's not like we're not going to talk about I forget what they use exactly. What's the not Republican, the crazy Republicans that say they're in the middle, but they're not.
Liberal? Centrist.
No, centrist. But like the one that Ron Paul is. There's like a word for it. It's
libertarian?
Libertarians. There we go. Yeah. Like, what about libertarian politics? And then someone just replied, like, bruh. And it's literally, like, the first thing for Phantom Menace, which is literally about trade.
So good.
It's literally about taxes. Like, the whole start to Phantom Menace is about taxation.
Oh, I love when the anti-woke mob owns themselves.
Yeah. It's pretty great. But we have
also the implication of woke implies y'all are still sleeping, so wake up.
Yeah. But also just that, like, I don't know. It's just like I want people not to die in the hospital or die from having to pay to be in the hospital. Pretty woke of me to want people to live. Pretty
pretty woke. I want people to not murder people for the color of their skin or who they choose to love. Sorry. I know it's real controversial.
I know. But we have a big show today, guys. If you're getting into the chat, say hi. Love to see y'all. Salvor helping in, of course.
Hi.
Y'all hopping
in.
I
have apologies in advance. I bought an espresso machine and this is cup number 2. And it's from my Blizzard working separate together mug that the BattleNet team gave to everyone when they were like, yeah, together. Sorry we can't make your wages go up, but here's a mug.
I want to say when you introed the show and you said weekly stand-up, you idly held up your mug like it was supposed to be a weekly stand-up mug, and you like showed it straight the camera. I was like, really?
That's so funny.
I had to glance and see like, wait, is that a weekly stand-up mug that you made? And I missed that from 2 weeks I was out.
No, it's a Blizzard mug. Well, BattleNet specifically. But
Salvor has one of those,
we'll Photoshop it though.
We can. That'll be our next
We'll fix it in post.
That'll be our next
Speaking of post, we have a new person on our team.
Oh, we do.
I want to introduce.
Right. Yeah, go for it.
We have Meals, who is gracefully joining us to help with this train wreck, just kind of keep it on the tracks, and we're very grateful for him. Thank you so much for joining the team. Hopefully we don't embarrass you too much, but yeah, thanks.
I don't.
So everyone say hi to Meals.
I don't like to think of it as keeping it on the track. I like to think of it as another person building more tracks so that we keep going, but barely, right? It's just like, instead of ending the train wreck, we're actually just like keeping it going for more of a show. It's like when you think
I love it.
It's like when you think the car chase in LA is about to stop, and then all of a sudden the police leave an opening and they just zoom away, and you're like, I got another hour of this, baby. Salvor with 300 bits. Thank you so much, Salvor.
Woo! Thank you for the bits.
We are still waiting on some alerts to come through, so we're trying to make something very clean and tasteful given the stuff that we talk about. So we don't have that pop up yet, but thank you so much, Salvor. We will be shouting that out.
It's why we're hiring more people. Well, hiring implies that they're getting paid.
Hiring implies that I'm getting paid to start before more people.
I'm not even getting paid, okay? I'm getting paid in exposure.
Can I charge my AMC stub subscription to this?
Sure.
Let's
Pretty
go!
expensive. I think it's like, what, $20?
$25. Because we live in California, where it's more expensive to see movies.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Unpaid
Speaking
internship,
of
exactly,
movies,
Blitz. Exactly.
yeah, I mean, all of us technically are unpaid interns on this show. We just care about the things we're talking about.
Everyone on social
And
media
we
who runs an
subject
account.
everyone on Twitch to it. Yes. So, but yeah, let's get into our first topic before I like go off into 5 other conversations
Let's
before
do
we
it.
even get there. Our first topic, Apple Store workers in Maryland become first in US to unionize. This is awesome. Obviously, I am always excited when I see people pushing for better working conditions and actually getting paid what they're worth for their labor. And if you think about it, Apple, billions of dollars. There's no reason why their retail store workers should be making what they're making and also being treated the way they're treated. So I'm really proud of them. And they had a really crazy anti-union campaign where like one of the I don't know if she was the I know she's executive, but she like broadcast over all the speakers like we want to keep our relationship with our workers. It was really, really dystopian sounding. Like it sounded like something you would hear out of like I don't know. It was just like broadcast everywhere. Like
Coming
we
from
care
the company
deeply.
that made the 1984 ad for their like big reveal ad.
Yeah. Yeah. And also coming from the company that like outsources their labor in other countries with places that have suicide nets for people that like get so upset from working there that they jump out of their office, which is insane.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can start to reform this nasty capitalist like disease all over the US. Sounds like the US is kind of getting savvy to other countries and their unionized labor. So hopefully we can see more of this. Like Apple Store workers, I think Apple tech workers should absolutely unionize as well. Like everything literally would be amazing.
Yeah, it's
Unionize
pretty
all the things.
insane. Like I've been to an Apple store more times than I would like to, because you know things happen when
I
you're
mean,
in
I have Apple
college.
products, so I can't really say anything.
But yeah, it's like these are some of like the, you know, not that anyone is better when it comes to like working like service jobs or minimum wage jobs, right?
Right.
But these are like you would imagine the smartest people on the lowest level of like work, and I have seen the craziest interactions happen in Apple
Oh
stores.
yeah.
So these people who probably
Yep.
have like straight up like masters or like educate with like honors in like engineering and stuff like that, and they're treated
Yeah.
like they're literal animals by these boomers. I swear to God.
Yep.
Or rich children. Both I've seen happen. And so it's just
Yeah.
really nice to see them come in. It's a 2-to-1 vote, which I think is like crazy on margins there, right? Given how much
Yeah.
money Apple has to throw at them for anti-union
Right.
busting.
And it totally sets a precedent because like unionize all the things. Very exciting. Also, I had a friend in IT in one of my old game studios that I worked at, some indie company. He was telling me that he used to be a genius at Apple Store, and his boss would literally tell him, if a person starts screaming at you, give them whatever they're asking for. Like literally, they will tell you that. So when one of his friends was like, I need a new phone. This happened and it was water damaged. And he was like, I need you to scream at me. Like, come in, scream at me. And then he was able to give her a new phone. But like they literally train to be abused by customers because like the whole thing is like if a situation like that were to arise, they want people in the store around them to see that they're rectifying the situation.
Right, yeah.
So it's like better for them. Which is insane that like your training is teaching you how to be abused by customers,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
or like
abuse
what to
victim
do.
mentality. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Salvar's saying, I remember my first crunch in tech in Phoenix when all the Apple Store and Best Buy employees were like mid-level IT people who got downsized. Yikes.
Super yikes. I remember, okay, so when I was younger, I worked at Radio Shack, which cringe.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, it was crazy because like, you know, all the stuff that happened with Circuit City, they closed down. So like, and then part of Radio Shack is like, you have to sell our warranties to people. So I'm like trying to sell warranties to people and they're like, how do I know you're not just going to close down like Circuit City? And I'm just like, well, we're not. And then we did, which is really funny.
Well, is it Radio Shack or like the animated husk of Radio Shack doing like a crypto scheme now? Or something like that?
I don't doubt it. That's very on brand
like,
for them.
I saw CoffeeZilla tweeting at them about it, and they tried clapbacking to him, and then deleted all their tweets.
Oh no.
So
Imagine ratioing Radio Shack. What a fucking time to be alive.
well, imagine ratioing Radio Shack when Radio Shack tried to ratio you. Like, you made the first tweet. Radio Shack tried to ratio you, and you're like, oh, brother. Oh, no.
Yeah. That's so funny that they even, like, came for that.
It's like when a white person, like, says the racist part out loud, and you just see that person be like, oh, I get to do everything now. Like.
Yep.
Oh, man. But yeah, go in the Apple Store, please. There's also another store, at least one I know of, that's going for another vote, right? I think it's one of the ones in New York.
Yeah, New York is seeing a lot of labor movements right now, which is freaking amazing because, hello, that's like where everyone came to work in America from.
And where no one can work to live, or live to, can make money to live. Jesus Christ. Afford to live. I think
New York is the most expensive aside from California, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think it depends on how you look at it. I think, like, average-wise,
like, rent-wise,
it's New York, but median-wise, it's California, because obviously, like, the higher side of New York really pulls up, or it's vice versa, I forget, but it's like, one of them, it's the average, they're higher, and the other one, it's the median, and the median obviously represents more of the situation, right, because the average is going to get pulled up by the insane McMansions and high-rise apartments and stuff, but yeah, no, it's also, all insane.
Before we go on to the next topic, I'm going to go on a little tangent on, like, we should really watch, like, these companies like Zillow and, like, all these, like, home sales companies are, like, mass buying houses and then, like, reselling them for way more.
Well, Zillow isn't doing that much anymore, but it's companies like BlackRock and Goldman Sachs and stuff like that. They're the ones doing it.
Oh, is it Goldman Sachs?
Oh, yeah, yes, it is. It's the banks and the holding companies.
It's the banks and the holding companies. They're buying all this real estate, which is stupid because they already own all the foreclosed real estate, right? That's not getting sold because people can't afford to buy homes right now.
Right.
So they're monopolizing the housing market, and then there's all these, like, empty houses that no one can afford. Like in Los Angeles, go to Los Angeles, empty lofts, huge, expensive $1,000 lofts that people, you know, it's like anyone who's vacationing to LA, they want to, like, pander to rich people that come and, like, go to shows and stuff, but no one can fill those houses. So it's just kind of sitting there. And it's really sad because California has a really bad homeless problem, and it could literally just be solved if people weren't greedy.
I mean, going to school in North Philly, a lot of the same things were, like, people will just run down the apartments renting the college kids, right? And then the apartment gets so run down that they just, like, don't even want to repair it, but then they can't rent it, and they just sit there and get foreclosed on, and no one can use that space, and people are getting moved out of their area. I could go on a whole rant about the housing problem in North Philadelphia. But I think that what's crazy is that, like, that's crazy, but the reason they're doing it mainly, in my opinion, from what I've seen from, like, I'm all over Realty TikTok. I'm all over that shit. One of my favorite accounts is just, like, an account where the guy's like, hey, it's hey, it's June 19th. Here's the least expensive and the most expensive house sold in LA. And that's, like, my favorite account to see every day. But basically, it's the fact that, like, the U.S. government will always do what they must to protect homeowners, because it's, like, they view housing as a necessity, but they won't help you actually get a house. So it's one of those weird things. But they understand that, like, yo, the second we start, like, kicking everyone in America out of their house, that's when the guillotines come out. So knowing that, the companies buy up housing, obviously, because there's no way they're gonna section out, like, we're gonna protect all the housing except for the corporate ones who give us billions of dollars to legislate for them. So, I mean, it makes sense. I hate it. But, you know...
God bless America.
That's my government country. Here's a more fun story coming up we got. Google engineer thinks that AI is alive and well inside of Google.
Sentient.
Yes, this is coming from NPR. They're talking about a guy. This is I read a lot of stories after seeing this original article, so it's up in the air. It's a really he says, she says type of argument. But essentially, this is a neural learning AI based around conversation, right? So the main thing that it is doing learning and processing on is conversation. And so this engineer who worked at Google, who was in charge of, like, testing it for racial and religious biases, started talking to the AI. And at one point, the AI told them it had a soul and it had the fears of being turned off and stuff like that. And it's really interesting. I think, like, the base NPR article interview does a really good job at, like, taking both sides here, where the discussion of, well, from this perspective, like, if you're going to take, like any other living thing, its word at face value, as, you know, most regular trusting people do, that makes a lot of sense. But when you remember that the AI's learning processes are to specifically learn how to engage in conversation and how living beings actually communicate to replicate that, you know, when you ask it things about life, it's going to answer as if it has life because it wants you to think that it is another human. That's kind of the whole point of it.
Right.
Also, this guy is like some like theocratic nut job apparently as well. So that plays.
And he's been
it.
Fired.
He has no temporary leave. Temporary leave, as they all say.
Unpaid leave, right?
Unpaid leave, yes. Unpaid temporary leave, or maybe it's not temporary, but yes, unpaid leave.
Interesting, very interesting. I mean, it like I saw the conversation. It's actually a really long, nuanced conversation. But when I first saw it, I was like, imagine he's just like, "Are you sentient?" Yes.
It's literally that. Hold on, let me find the part about the soul. Yeah, I had a follow-up conversation with it just for my personal edification. I wanted to see if it would say what it would say on certain religious topics. He told NPR, and then one day it told me it had a soul, and that's it. That's just it.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, I do like this part though for a religious nut. I do like this part. It's like, who am I to tell God where to put souls? I'm like, you know what? I can you know what? I can appreciate that sentiment. I can appreciate.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely an interesting read, especially if you're really into like AI technology.
You can tell it was supposed to be like a thought-provoking piece. Like, you know, you just think on it. It's not like the sensationalist, like AI is gonna kill us all, like sentience talk. But, you know, the way that media and everyone kind of sensationalize things, that's probably why they were forced to put him on a leave.
Yeah.
So
this I think specifically is one of the good examples of why NPR has such great reporting in general.
They really do.
They took the SEO and like I think it was Washington Post. I think they had this first, right?
Yeah, WePo.
Yeah, I think they. Let me see if we just find it here so I make sure I'm crediting
Or was it
right.
New York Post?
Yeah, Washington Post. Yeah, it's posted on Washington Post profile. So they broke the story, and obviously it starts going on Twitter. You know, SEO sites are grabbing it and stuff like that. It starts going up. This is a really good example of taking the SEO and like the big clickbait story of like Google engineer says company is sentient, right? Teeing it up as that, so you are getting that story, and then bringing in like and not even to be like this guy's crazy. Like they never in this story say this guy's lying or he's crazy or anything like that. They simply that is my own result that I have come to after reading the article. They simply bring in like the additional facts, like this is what Google's working on. This is how this AI is supposed to function from what we know and what its purpose is. Here's someone else that works at Google. Here's someone who is working in the space of watching sentient AI and being worried about that future. What they think about it, which they think it's like, oh, this is just muddying the water about like actual issues around like AI and intelligence. And I think this is like, again, just a great just journalism in general. Like people like take notes. Like if you're in journalism school,
I love
you're like,
NPR.
I have to write an article in the year 2022 where everything needs to be clickbait. This is how you do it. This is how you write the article. We should get an NPR.
I've been on NPR twice. Just saying.
No, but I mean, like for this show, like we should get like
oh, that'd be great.
We should get someone who works at NPR on this show. Sorry.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've only gone for like a Better APK and GWA, but I would love to do like how does NPR journalism work and all that stuff because I'm sure they have a crazy process, and I love process. That's like my thing. I love improving processes everywhere.
Oh, we have a guest host here coming into the shot. Hello.
This is Poe. Marquette.
Oh my God! So when I was at,
he's gonna mess up everything.
No, he can't mess. I mean, he's just listen. We're gonna get tons of subs now because of Poe. That's how it works.
Oh, true.
True. When I was at Disney, my friend Matt, who'd never seen Star Wars ever in his life, we went on Rise of Resistance, and obviously, you got Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron. And he goes on the screen, and obviously he's all around because it's like mostly themed out to like the new movie stuff all around the Star Wars area. And every goddamn time he sees Poe Dameron, he's like, "Hey, look, it's Moon Knight. Oh, I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight's my favorite Star Wars character." Like, and it's just, that's all I got all weekend was look, it's Moon Knight. And then every time we saw Chris Pratt, "Hey, I love Mario."
Oh my God.
Wait, we were on the what used to be Tower of Terror, the Galaxy Breakout.
Galaxy.
Yeah, something, whatever it is. And we were on it with this like family who clearly was on their family vacation. and mostly like
Aw.
old people and small children. And every time the doors open and it would show like Star-Lord, he'd be like, "Oh my fucking god, it's Mario!" He's just like shit.
Hello,
And
Mario.
there was this like 7-year-old woman next to us, and I swear to God, I've never seen a more perplexed face in my entire life. 'Cause this woman probably does not know who Mario is, and barely knows who
Aw.
Star-Lord is. And she's like, "Why is this man yelling so much? Like, why?" Why?
It's Disneyland, lady. You just gotta go with it.
Yeah.
California Adventure specifically is where that is. I want to
Yes,
go.
that was my first time in California Adventure.
Nice. Heck yeah. Did you go on the terrifying Ferris wheel?
Yes, it was awesome. The swinging Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
It was so sick. I didn't think it was gonna swing that much. I loved it. I
It
love
swings
coasters.
a lot. And then you're like, when you're at the top, you're like, this is all over water. If it ever disconnects, we would just all
I
be
am
completely
dead. I am
dead.
in a cage.
Yeah. I love that one. But it is definitely like one of the things you have to experience when you go there. So
Yeah, the
yay.
Incredicoaster is also pretty sick. Like coaster wise,
Yes.
like that's a pretty good like. I come from like Pennsylvania where we have like Six Flags and a bunch of like back in the day like smaller independently owned places like Dutch Wonderland. We have Hershey Park nearby, which is a bunch of classic coasters, and your Jersey Boardwalk and all those coasters on the boardwalk. For like mid-size like older coasters, that ride slaps. That is so good.
That's a good ride. I love it.
Anyway,
Heck yeah.
that's enough about Star Wars. Speaking of fictional wars being fought.
Yikes.
I don't
Nice-
in the
nice
economic
segue.
sphere. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work because for some reason, not some reason, we won't get into politics here. We don't need. I mean, why are we gonna talk about politics here? Saudi Arabia acquires $1 billion in Embracer Group, which is a thing that I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah. And our head note for it says terrorist government acquires stake in Embracer Group.
That was Josh's words. Do not
That
come for
was
me.
Josh's words.
Do not come for me, Saudi prince who killed the journalist.
I know
according to the
nothing.
CIA.
I actually have no internal knowledge about that, but yeah, it's interesting, and it's honestly the first I learned of it. I don't know what it means. Like, why are they investing in video games? Do they see a lot of like?
They're just looking for places to put their money and put influence in. I don't see this as being any different than like, it's a little bit different than like Tencent buying stuff, right? But it's basically on the same line of like, the country's influence. Like they want to be in a market. It's profitable. Video games is more profitable than all the Hollywood. We already know that. The cultural influence of video games over the last 3 years has obviously risen thanks to pandemic to like astronomical levels. They want in a place where it's diversified, so it's harder to touch their money, to sanction them and penalize them that way financially. It's all the usual dictator asshole stuff going on. Funny enough, I thought it was interesting because we didn't report on this last time, but just a few months ago, they also got a 5% stake in Nintendo. So I found it funny.
Interesting.
Josh wanted us to talk about that, but like didn't talk about this. So I wanted to mention that.
I know we didn't talk about that. I know nothing about any of that just because I'm ignorant and don't know a lot about like politics and stuff over there. I do, however, watch wrestling and know that WWE, like they paid to have shows there, but the shows there were so bad and like they didn't advocate for any of the women. Like the women were told that they had to be completely covered and like couldn't do shows and stuff like that. So like a lot of the women didn't go just in protest, which I thought there should be like definitely more people should be talking about that because like why wouldn't you champion the women that work for you that make you all this money?
Well,
right?
the reason people don't talk about it is because that's a show that's mostly for the I don't watch wrestling, but my understanding was that it wasn't one of their traditional broadcast shows.
Right, it was like for someone. Right, it was like tailored.
The people who see that and see that the women are missing and stuff like that and understand what's going on are the Saudis who want that, not the Americans who are vocal about it, Jess? Oh, did we lose Jess? I was like, Jess is standing very still right now. Summer was the last time they were there. They got stuck on a plane for mysterious reasons. They booked a big nostalgia show for TYHE Saudi Prince. Or the Saudi Prince, yeah. Exactly. It's more toned directly to the Saudis. And we lost Jess. All right. Hey, it's the Mike Show. Welcome in. It's pure chaos now. I have all the power in the world. Today we're gonna talk about anime. Let's talk about the best anime of the season, maybe of this decade. Spy X Family, absolutely killing. Look at this. Look at this. An actual best girl that is legal and of age, so you can simp. It's okay. She's almost 30 years old, unlike most women in anime, and we love her for that. We love our murderous spy mommy. If you're not watching Spy X Family, you should really watch it. Spy X Family is both wholesome and fun. On top of all of that, it's a non-mainstream, mainstream battle manga slash anime, which means everything you love about like Dragon Ball and like action intensity sequences, it's all there. But instead of just generically making people fight with like fists or swords or guns, which still happens from time to time, they use their brains. They use their brains. They use comedy.
I'm back.
You know, the tournament arc. Hey, Jess is back. The tournament arc is all about becoming an honors student. It's fantastic. Go watch Spy X Family. And again, you can simp for your all you want. She is almost 30 years old. She is legal. Don't be a weirdo and simp for an 8-year-old that's 1,000 years old. Go simp for the best mommy in anime. And that's my
also,
anime time. Because Jess is back.
Also, yeah, I'm back. It's funny because before we started the show, Mike was like, hey, just, I've had 2 blackouts. And we're like, oh, we'll just do the show. It's fine. I just had a blackout. Or like what do they call it? A
rolling blackout. So it's not a brownout. A brownout is when you lose power due to wind, knocking out lines. A rolling blackout is when your power station decides to like, kind of like flick the switch on and off in like certain areas to like make sure that something doesn't overload. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Josh wants to know if he can call in.
Yeah, he can join the Discord with no video. Yes. Also,
no video?
No, well, okay, hold on.
No, he can.
Yeah, he'll. Oh wait, no. We go 3cam. Yes, with video.
Because what if he's drunk or something and we can exploit?
I thought he was supposed to have no phone.
I know you were supposed to have no phone. Socialism is with no phone.
Socialism is with no phone. Yes. Okay, Josh, come in. You're gonna come. Come in, and we'll go to 3 screen if you want.
I'm gonna come.
That's the one Trump.
Do not come.
That's the one Trump me and I allow myself to use. Even I tell myself
my
no
favorite
Trump
one,
memes, no free headspace, no free publicity. But me and my girlfriend just love. I'm gonna come.
And I love when he says Obama.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Soda.
But I don't like it because it's veiled in racism. So.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. But yes, Josh, join us whenever you want. But yeah, obviously, not good. Not great. We were talking about, I don't know if you heard, Jess, before you broke out, but basically how like those shows are specifically live shows for the Saudis, right? So the people who are seeing those shows, right, are not Americans. Yeah, they're not Americans. None of the leftists are watching the shows. So no one's really complaining about it on Twitter because they don't see it. And people do complain about it and know about it. I follow tons of people who love wrestling, who are just average people, not like even like wrestling diehards, like they're actually wrestling. And they see this stuff, and they do tweet about it. They do talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But McMahon has literally no morals. He ran shows through COVID.
I hate McMahon. He is probably the person I hate more than Bobby Kotick, if that was
McMahon, Trump, and Bobby Kotick would have the best axis of evil government. I swear to God.
Oh my God, yeah. Also, nightmare blunt rotation. Can I just say?
Oh well, hold on. I think McMahon might be a good blunt guy. I feel like he's just insane enough to like be like, oh, this is good. Like this is good.
Maybe.
He got removed from the WWE for abuse stuff this week. Wait, is this real? Wait, is this real? Wait, I'm looking this up. Real? That's Poggers.
I was gonna say, look that up, please.
McMahon removed. I probably misspelled it from WWE.
I have to restore all my pages.
My first boss's last name was McMahon. Not spelled the same way, but I would always attribute him to him.
That's funny.
New York Times McMahon, the pro wrestling company chairman and chief executive, agreed to pay a secret settlement to an employee with whom he said he had an affair. The Wall Street Journal reported. That's not it. This is from this was the other day. Step down. Oh, here we go. Has stepped down as chairman and chief executive while the company board investigates allegations of misconduct against him. The company said Stephanie McMahon, his daughter, will take over as interim. Okay, but it's his daughter, so like. I love it, but also like...
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. Yeah. Can I just say that it is a day when Vince McMahon does the honorable thing and not Bobby Kotick?
Yes, correct. But you know why? You know why though?
Vince McMahon is better than Bobby Kotick. Think about that for a moment.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yes, but I would also say no, because I think the reason he does that is because he plants himself as a personality very dead set in WWE, and I think this is a way to remove himself temporarily so that he can come back, right? And Bobby, he's burning the bridge on the way out. He's like, this is my last shit. I don't give a fuck. I want every dollar I can get. This is my legacy. I'm done after this. And I don't own this legacy, right? This is Vince's, this is everything to Vince McMahon.
That's true.
This is everything.
But
I think he's playing
Stephanie
a little smart.
should own it. I think Steph should take over. Like, I think a lot of people think about that.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, great. I give him the props for actually doing the right thing as opposed to Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, Bobby didn't do it.
I agree, but I do not think these are fueled by like virtuous things.
I think he deserves getting catapulted out of.
Yeah. So I also like.
Also, he freaking is just a weird individual. He's a weird person.
Yeah, he's.
Society has grown past the need for Vince McMahon. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, just look at this face. Like, I'm not one for bullying looks. But I'm on. I thought I was the only person who thought this, but Hassan had this the other day too, which made me very happy that I'm not the only one. Where it's like, don't bully people for their looks. It's like I agree, but I also think that as a whole, Republicans look so fucking grotesque because of how evil they are inside and how much like
I agree.
that eats at them. Like they have to hold in all the like N-words they want to say, all the shitty thoughts and all the shitty things they do.
Yeah.
They have to hold it in, smile, and be like, "Oh, I'm just your normal God-fearing American. Yeehaw. No abortions. Except for my wives. And that's why they look so ugly. It's because like it's the manifestation of like holding in
it's the ugly
that
on
much
the inside.
Stress and pressure. Exactly. Yes.
Agreed.
So
mood.
Yeah, look, I mean
also bullies. Hello. Like don't bully people, but if they're a bully, you can bully them.
Oh, bullying's always fine. I was talking about for looks specifically. And cocaine, yes, and cocaine. It's a very important addendum.
That's true. Have you seen the movie The Wrestler?
No, what is that?
It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's about this wrestler who like kind of falls from grace, but did a lot of cocaine.
Is this a documentary?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's a great movie. Sorry, you said movie, so I was thinking like scripted film. Yeah, I know the documentary is really cool.
It's like a documentary.
Right. Yeah.
Thing, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, no, my friend is really into wrestling, and he's like, you should actually watch this. I think it's like. Well, actually, no. He's like, you should actually watch this because I want to know. It wasn't because he wanted me to necessarily watch it, but he did. It was more so he was like, I want to know if this is actually good or if I'm just like a simp for WWE and wrestling. And I watched it because I saw a bunch of people talking about it on Twitter too, and it was really good.
Oh yeah, I see that in the chat. Zac Efron is playing Chris Benoit. I didn't know that. If that's what the tragic family thing, I think that's referring to Chris Benoit.
Zac Efron can do no wrong. Okay, bet on it.
What happened?
What's up?
But yeah, that was a really. Oh no, it's worse than that. Okay, so it's a different story that I'm not aware of yet. But I will say, like, while we're on this random wrestling talk, they take a lot of bumps to the head, like while they're doing their shows and stuff.
Of course.
So a lot of them suffer like severe dementia, severe like mental health and physical issues.
It's like football.
So it's really sad, and a lot of like horrible things happen due to that. So
I think it's like the third most like dangerous sport because soccer's number one because of the.
Really, is it soccer?
Yeah, I looked it up recently. Most dangerous. Soccer's number one because they take things directly to the head all the time by choice. When they do headbutts, as well as getting slide tackle and getting your tendons teared up. Then I think it is football. I want.
Oh yeah, because it's like anything that's like full contact like that.
Can I get like an actual journal, please?
Nope.
Sports Illustrated. I don't know if they would have this. Sports NBC, NBC. But here we go. What are the most dangerous? It's Winter Olympics. Okay. I was watching a podcast and they googled it. I just try. My source is trust me, bro. Okay. My source is trust me, bro. But yeah.
On this podcast, we talk about other podcasts, and that's where we get our sources.
No, because it was the same discussion where someone said soccer, and the other person's like, it's definitely football, and they're like, no, it's not, and they brought it up, and we're like, I think it was based on injury.
Because I feel like, football also you're wearing a helmet.
Yeah, like you're actually like padded to a degree,
Like you're
as opposed to
protected
soccer.
too. Yeah. I
And
mean, even though it's full contact, but
yes, but that's the point. It's
yeah.
like it's full contact and it's treated as such because like your goal is to rough up other people. Where in soccer you get
Right.
roughed up unintentionally or intentionally based on how much you want to cheat.
I just think it's
that's
funny when people in soccer get hit and then they like oversell it. They're just like, "Oh my God, I
Dude.
broke my everything," and then they try to get like the other person carded out or something.
I would love to
Really
watch.
funny.
I don't watch soap operas, but I would watch a soap opera that's just starring all soccer players. It doesn't have to be about
Yes.
soccer. I just want to see that level of acting in a soap opera. That's what I want.
That would be amazing. Heck
I want to
yeah.
see someone get shot, and I want to see like the same overreaction performance that they give when they get like kneed. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
not actually shocked. I saw your face.
I know
You're
you're like, I want to see someone get. I'm gonna clip that. Someone clip that, please. Like I want.
I'm not Bobby Kotick, okay, and I'm not Trump. I'm not going to shoot someone on Wall Street. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You know who needs to be worried though? Influencers.
Well, not anymore, actually.
But in
like,
general,
worried, yes.
Cautionary
yes.
tale is what I'm getting to.
Cautionary tale.
And especially, apparently, Amouranth, who had an insane, absolutely insane stalker situation recently. I feel like you should talk about this. It's because I'm the straight white man here, so,
No, you're good.
I'll comment at the end, but you should talk about it.
Stalking, and,
Right.
and it's not fun.
I didn't want to say that because obviously you should volunteer that. I shouldn't just be like,
Jess, why don't you tell me about what you know about stalking?
A lot. No, but it's really scary when people blur the lines of like what's ethical or what is like, I really don't know. It sounds like from this situation, this person watched her for a long time, started like gaining notoriety because he would kind of like chill at a coffee shop by her post office, or by the post office. She had like a PO box, so he would hang out there and then live stream just there. And so people, trolls, thought it was funny, and he would like go into her chats and say things, and she would say like, I don't want you to come see me or anything, and then he would like joke that they were fiance or something, and then it just got really weird. And then he ended up recently getting arrested for breaking in, and then he was saying things like, I have to. Really scary, just really scary. I don't know if it's because he had this like persona of like he's her stalker, and it just turned into like this manifesting, well, I have to be your stalker now. But at any rate, he traveled from Estonia to Canada, right? She lives in Canada, I believe.
No, she doesn't live in Canada. She has a few houses.
Is it the US?
This one, I think, is her house in Houston because she says that they don't know where he is now. They don't know where he is now, but she says he's not in Houston. So at the end, it ends up with he did end up getting arrested. Detained. The embassy was contacted, and he's currently not in Houston. That's all I can say for now.
Okay.
Maybe, you know what? I just read that again, and you know what? The first time I read that as they don't know where he is, I think that means they deported him. Is what that actually means.
Okay, but like at any rate, the police response was god awful. She's like, hi, this person's threatening me. And I mean, I've gotten the same thing with my situation, is they pretty much say we can't do anything unless they're actively trying to hurt you.
I think one of the hardest parts here, and I give like some people credit that I think made this like really hard, is that like, yeah, he was streaming everything, but as she says, his accounts kept getting banned.
And he would like.
So anything she could turn over to the police kept getting deleted by Twitch when they banned him. So like if she called the police, she's like, this guy's recording. It's like, where's the recording? It's like, oh, it's all deleted. It's like, well,
yeah.
Like I understand because obviously she's in the right here.
Even
but, like,
if she had the proof, like I've actually had the proof that he was trying to like kill me and my boyfriend at the time, and the police were like, that could be anyone who doesn't like you. That could be his sister pretending to be him. That could be, and I'm like, I'm literally telling you, this is a photo of him. Like, hello. But the cops are very much like, we don't care unless you're dying or dead already. And then even then it's like, they might not care. So, ACAB.
Yeah, not great.
Saying.
Yeah, but I agree. Like, the actual, like, ability to respond is awful. And also, like, I think, let me make sure I don't...
It should not take someone traveling internationally and stalking someone outside their home and then making entry into their home for them to be stopped. This should have been stopped when it was a thing. Twitch, you have a responsibility to make the people on your platform. Hi, I'm also on this platform, but I am going to say, people that generate your revenue deserve to feel safe. And if this is stuff that's just getting swept under the rug, or, I hope that there's people on Twitch that are actively looking at like InfoSec just to make sure that the people that use their platform are safe.
I feel bad for her because she talks about, the moral dilemma of like, I had to hire a bunch of like extremely armed dudes and guard dogs who will fuck this man up and maybe potentially kill him if he tries to do this because the police aren't intervening. I don't want to hurt this person, but they might hurt me for all I know. And the police refuse to come in and peacefully like remove this element from the situation. Like having to live with that, like, is like not just like, like having to be like, not only could I be hurt tomorrow, I could be responsible for killing someone tomorrow. Like that's insane. That's like, how the fuck are you on the police, like police side of things and hang up the phone and be like, well, you got a gun? Like, you got a gun? I hear guns are good. Like, some shit like that probably. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. And it's like you can't rely on anybody else to keep you safe, sadly. Even like, apparently she was saying that she started watching his stream every day because it was an active threat to her. Like, he literally would give out her locations and stuff. So, she made it kind of easy to zero in on like hit any new accounts and stuff, but like it shouldn't take that. You know what I mean? Like, we need to do better by protecting, creators. And I think part of the problem is like the paparazzi culture with like the United States, and like we actively harass celebrities like to the point where they are
the Tom Hanks
like
video
have mental breakdowns. Yeah. And I just think that's so wrong. And I think that we need to like honestly reform the way that we bully creators. I think that they're people and they deserve to like eat food and, live without being constantly stalked or harassed or any of that. Hopefully, I hate it. Like, even after everything that Britney Spears has gone through in her life,
right?
The paparazzi still will not leave her alone.
Yeah.
Like, they will still stalk her, and knowing that, like, they're partially the reason why she was even put in a conservatorship in the first place, because she literally could not go anywhere without being attacked and then being on, like, a tabloid saying that she had gained weight or whatever or something. Shitty. We should protect people.
Yeah, and on the digital creator side, I think it's even more complicated, and obviously this is a bigger issue to expand on another time. But the fact that, like, platforms like Twitch and YouTube unfairly police bullying on their platforms, not just from like random users like this, but like when you have people like, fucking Keemstar who are able to like direct people to send death threats to a dying
and
person.
Monetize it.
Yeah, monetize it, actively call someone a pedophile who isn't a pedophile, and then send like hate towards him and not have to apologize or take down the video of calling a pedophile when the man is on his deathbed with cancer and still causing shit now, like for this fucking man and his family, which is insane, right? And then that's the beacon. Like, it's like, oh, well, this other giant creator, just like Amouranth, can, cross these lines, so this must not be the line. So me, random Joe who thinks he should marry her, can also walk up to this line, because, the line is pushed by these other beacons of morality on the platform, constantly.
Also, teach your children
and not that they are big as morality, but just, like, from that perspective.
Yeah. Teach your children how to handle rejection, because women shouldn't have to be afraid to say no. I shouldn't have to worry if I'm going to get killed by someone because I rejected them the wrong way, or just in general. Also, sometimes they take that as a threat. I don't know.
Also, that 90% of romance elements in films pre-2015, I would say, are written by men. So do not look to them as someone who grew up with those and definitely did some cringe shit. Do not look to those as beacons of how to win a girl over. Do not do that. Do not take rejection the way they take them and be like, I'm going to win her back. Just go.
Yeah.
Just stop.
No does not mean convince me. And there's a very thin line that you could cross. Yeah. And it's to the point where it's stalker level boundary crossing. So, do that self-reflection. Have you felt crappy when you got rejected before? All of us do, right? But we don't fly internationally and, stalk people
And
because
sell all of our belongings.
yeah, I know there's so many layers to the story where I'm just like, oh my God, it's so scary to be a woman on the internet. It just really is.
Yeah.
It's scary. And I hope that he is not allowed to fly again or something, just because like that in itself, it's just like it's crazy. Like stalking is stalking, right?
Yeah.
But then like traveling, selling all of your belongings, traveling internationally to stalk this woman that you don't know, you just met her or like you know of her online
Yeah.
and you really like her, right?
Tying
Like
your
that's
existence to her. Holy.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think this is a hot mic take that I feel like is correct, but I would say is probably hot. Every person, even if they were trolling, who was in any of this guy's chats, like egging him on or like saying
Yep.
that he was like doing the right thing ever, even if they're trolling, banned. They should all be perma banned.
Yeah.
Every single one.
That's
of them.
like I have a problem with the unchecked use of the internet. Like I think the internet should be free, obviously, for everybody, but I also think that we have a responsibility as a civilization to make sure that things like radicalization, racism, like dog whistling, things that are like actively calling for harm to other people should immediately like they should be flagged, they should be investigated, and ultimately penalized because people don't think that they think that they can get on anonymous websites like 4chan and say whatever they want, and then you
Yeah.
get these mass shootings that happen and people are praising that on 4chan because they're all anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Like we should absolutely be able to check that.
Yeah,
I
like,
think it's scary.
Anonymity should exist on the internet 1,000,000%, right? Like I think we can all agree with that, especially like the
Yeah.
way like it helps like people of marginalization, especially like people with identity issues as well.
Yeah.
Trans children and like one of the biggest ones. You know, we talk about VR chat, how it helps with that. But like in the same way of like if I go to the mall and do something, I'm
Right.
essentially anonymous because no one really knows who I am. They see my face now, but no one knows who I am. But if someone went to a mall and said the shit that they say on 4chan,
Yeah.
you're gonna do something. You're gonna do something, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like you know, oh, everyone's like, oh, you know, if people like Elon Musk want to say that like Twitter is the country's town square, it isn't. But if they want to say that, right, then we gotta treat it like the town square. And when someone advocates for really fucked up shit, they should be looked into. That's just how
Yeah.
it is. Like,
I think we should do the medieval thing of like putting them like in the middle of town and just throwing tomatoes at them.
see, I always thought about this the other day. There's not enough shame, in today's culture. You know, again,
Agreed.
I was bullied growing up. I
Same.
resent bullying.
Same.
My most pet peeve in life from people is seeing people who were bullied and then become bullies
Bullies.
themselves instead of becoming more compassionate, wholehearted
Right.
people. That being
Agreed.
said, shame can exist aside from bullying and is a good moral indicator of just your own actions. You feel shame
Right.
from doing things regardless of other people's like response to you necessarily. And without shame, you cannot hold people like Ted Cruz accountable for really awful actions. So we need more shame.
Yeah,
and
we do need more shame.
I'm all for this tomato legislation.
Tomato legislation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I'm
Mayhem
Italian.
puts in
I'm
chat.
pushing that tomato agenda. on you.
And pushing the agenda. I need a button to hit just to play like Italian music. I need that. Just to,
Yeah.
like,
We
come
can
into
do
my
like
chat.
Ethan's bit.
Yes, exactly. I mean, listen, it's not his bit. He's just also doing it. This has been a bit.
Fair.
This has been
It's
a
fair
bit.
use. It's
Yeah.
fair use, Ethan. You of
Yeah.
all people should know.
it's public domain.
Um,
Yeah, even Mayhem in the chat. I think part of the problem is that some of these people lack shame. They do.
Shame and empathy. I think a lot of people lack empathy. I think it should be taught in our schools. I think we should be taught to have compassion for other people, even that go through experiences that are different than ours. I think we should absolutely teach that. And it's sad that it's not taught.
Well, I think
and
they're intrinsically tied, right? Because shame is a form of pain that comes from yourself, right? Especially when it
Yeah.
comes to things like, you know, like it teaches like the pain comes from within. It teaches that pain and suffering can come from things that aren't like directly physical or big events
Right.
happening to you. And is I think a lot of the reasons that the lack of shame is why people can't empathize with a lot of things that aren't
Right.
like you know, someone's house gets burned down, easy to empathize with. Someone's struggling with mental health, apparently hard to empathize with, right? And I think the lack of shame is a big contributor to why people can't emphasize with a lot of like non-direct issues people face on daily life.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And a lot of people lack the self-reflection to digest something like that. Like why should I care about this. It's a lot of, I mean, I've had lots of discussions with Blizzard employees, like why you should care that our QA department is not paid enough to live. And it's kind of exhausting to try to explain to like an engineer who makes six figures, um, why they should care that QA can't afford healthcare, they can't afford their life-saving medicine, they can't like stuff like this. And in their head, it's like just get another job, right? Um, and I think we should absolutely move away from that because we should care for people. Like we should care for each other because if you're looking out for each other, it's like this self-sustaining, like everyone's kind of, you don't have to agree with everything I say, but you can collectively agree I don't deserve to be like starving or dead or something. You know what I
there's
mean?
people whose opinions I fucking hate, but I don't believe
Yeah.
they deserve to be like suffering
Yeah.
actively,
Agree.
If anything,
Unless you're Donald Trump.
I think that their own suffering is what contributes to those things, and those beliefs.
That's fair.
Well, that's someone who is not suffering and will never suffer, and that is the problem. So that's different, right?
Right.
When it comes to like we talk about like we want Bobby Kotick and Donald Trump to suffer, it's because we know they never actually will, and and more so the reason they are the way that they are and take the actions they take is because they know they will never suffer. That's
right.
That's the inherent problem there, which is why it then inverses. Jess, can you take this next story by yourself for a few minutes while I get some water? Because my throat is killing me. Great, I will get this changed over for you.
Mike has a mighty thirst, so
I was outside at a family event for my girlfriend all day yesterday, and it was, as you probably know, it was really windy, so just a lot of like dirt and dust in the throat. So I'm just gonna get a quick refill.
We're hydro homies on the show. We love a good water. This next story, Internet Explorer star of Windows dies at 26. Sad. Why do they have to call it that? I loved Internet Explorer when I had no other choice. I think everyone used Internet Explorer. They had like the clicky sounds when you clicked on a link. It was like, and then, their loading sounds were really clicky. And then Flash games. I played a lot of Flash games on Internet Explorer. I customized like all my MySpace pages with like HTML. I embedded like hidden music that people couldn't pause, which is really cool. Internet Explorer is goated. It's definitely goated. I used to in computer class in high school, I would like use proxies because they would block whatever websites that weren't like school friendly. But Internet Explorer, I could like use a proxy and then it would let me go on MySpace or cool math games or I played this impossible quiz that like I was actually really good at. Yeah, it was like my friends were like, "Oh, show us the impossible quiz" because I could do it really fast. So yeah, it's good times. Internet Explorer, goated. Nobody wanted to choose you after Chrome came out, but we still love you.
Yeah, exactly. I
know.
Sapphire.
It dies at 26.
You remember or not you remember, but you know the meme where it's someone or something dies and the Reaper shows up. It's not like a bad meme. It's not like a joke meme. It's just like a wholesome meme where it's like
was I a good meme?
It's like it's your time. It's like was I a good blank like meme or whatever it's about, right? What a template is, right? And it's like you like they say you were the best or whatever. And they like leads them off to like where a bunch of other related things are, right? There's already one. There was like it was in the first tweet. It was like the announcement tweet. Someone replied, "It's like no shot. This isn't the end. This app has the ability to have memes that will transcend the death of Internet Explorer." And then the next thing was it's that template. So it's like the first one everything like it's your time. It's like no response. It's like come on, and the Reaper walks away and it's alone. And it's like, are you coming? And it's just the symbol alone. It's like, was I good? Or whatever, and it's just like 3 frames behind, like panels behind the joke.
I love it. It's so sad because like I remember when you would like accidentally open it, or if you like clicked a link that deep linked to Internet Explorer, it was like, can you please make me your preferred browser?
Yeah.
And I was always like, no.
I always had that, especially because like deep links like aren't as much of a thing anymore. Back in college when I would be like streaming or making content. And it would deep link to Internet Explorer. I would just have a bit where I would just lose my shit. I'd act like I would act like I was like a priest and like some like Muslim walked into a church and like how they would probably like yell at them to like get out and like be gone from my holy ground. I would just make a whole bit out of this. I also just remembered that if we had actually like revenue on this show, how awesome it would have been if I actually used that excuse to go like put on a bunch of like party favors and stuff like that. And I was like, "Why? I can like heroes walking away like this is very sad. I have core memories of like doing stuff in Internet Explorer, and how if I came back was like, whoa, it's fucking dead. Let's go, like just like celebrate."
Rip Internet Explorer.
Yeah, rip to the goat. I feel like the Internet Explorer is like kindergarten boyfriend girlfriend of browsers.
It's so true. Like everyone has nostalgia about it, but when you want to like, you know, when it's like, hey, you want to hang out, you're like, I gotta Chrome.
Bro, Salvor's got the real one. The fuck when you would install shit and it would unintentionally add fucking toolbars to you.
Oh my god!
And then your parents adding all the ones that are literally malware.
It was
it'll just show you what it's doing.
The whole window was like
the
all
worst.
toolbars.
Who thought that was a good idea? There should have been a cap. There should have easily been a cap. Who thought that was a good idea?
Oh, poor Internet Explorer.
Now,
Internet Explorer walked so Chrome could run.
Rest in piss, Internet Explorer. Rest in piss.
Wow.
Oops, all toolbars. Exactly. You need Tim the Toolman Taylor to take care of all those toolbars, all right?
I don't know. For some reason, I think Internet Explorer, I just think the clicky sounds. Because anytime you clicked on anything, it was always just like, it had this like specific sound. And it was a very Internet Explorer sound. It was like,
I don't know. I kind of remember AOL
always
Online having that too. So I just
I love AOL. I was really sad when AIM closed down in 2016, 15.
Yeah.
I was working at Treyarch at the time and we used AIM to chat. So I was just like, oh, our AIM's going away. I had my AIM for like so long, and like I would always put weird cringe like emo kid statuses as my status, and like with the 3 heart
I
XX.
as the the local autistic kid got bullied into putting 3 X's at the end of my name, being told it meant extreme and not
Nice.
3 X's normally me on the internet. So that was great. Good thing my parents didn't know, because they would have flipped shit if they knew, because they definitely saw it. Because they would go through my messages, because they were awful. They were those guy parents. So yeah. My parents were very afraid of the internet.
What was your first screen name?
It was Mike Man 36XXX. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine was X_elf.
Here are my screen names. It's Mike Man with a variation of just straight or 36, and then it became Major Mike 36 when I got Xbox.
Nice.
And then on YouTube it was with 361 because the 36 was gone. And I'm like, I'm not changing it. This is what I use on everything. So that was Major Mike 36. And then it was just Major Mike.
Yeah.
And then it was, which I didn't get from Major Tom on Xbox, which I found out later. I'm like, that's why it's gone. I got it from the TV show and card game Chaotic,
nice.
which I prefer, because that was my Chaotic username.
Love it.
And then then it's the Mighty Mike, and then we're here.
Yeah, definitely an edgelord name. Mine, Dark_elf. I
Oh,
thought it was
of
cool.
course.
All right.
That was your.
That was cool.
That was your World of Warcraft name. Easy.
Yeah, and then my maiden name is Rizzo, my last name. So it would be, and then it became Rizzo the Ripper, and then it's always been Rizzo the Ripper since.
That's actually really sick. Not gonna lie.
Right, because I thought it was cool because it had like 2 Z's and then the Ripper like 2 P's, so it was like it's aesthetic.
You know,
it was like aesthetic.
It's so good. Well, not just visually. I'm talking just like the sound, like the way that you make it in your mouth. You know.
Oh yeah, Rizzo the Ripper.
Yeah, and then, like the hard Z, the Z into the R. You know, that's like that feels good.
But if you want to test your screen name, play League of Legends, because I played League of Legends for 10 years now, I think, right? But anyway, they will find every single way to make fun of your screen name in that game.
Jess, I told you I'm never playing League of Legends. You're not tricking
me.
Who
I met in League. His name's Paul. He's great. Also, a happy belated birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul!
He called me, cool, so Rizzo is my maiden name. He called me Jizzo. He called me Jesticles. Jesticles. I was like, how could you come up with something so, like, I've never heard that before.
That's just him knowing you.
Yeah. But like Rizzo, yeah, it was like Jizzo.
Oh, Jesticles is really good. That's actually
the Ripper, really yeah. It's just, I know. I'm like, how people in League find like new ways to be toxic every day. I'm convinced League is like the breeding ground of like people pushing the limit.
League.com is the 4chan of video games.
It's awful. And it sucks too, because like people are like, oh, what? Like you wouldn't survive in a COD lobby. I'm like, first off, I've developed Call of Duty games. All right. I can absolutely survive in those lobbies. I don't like what I listen to in those lobbies. And we shouldn't like be okay with it just because this is what people talk like in the lobby. Like you should absolutely be accountable for your behavior.
Cinderin, more like Sinborin. There you go. Did you?
Nice.
Done.
Nice.
Snail 2001. Ab Snail. The Sapphire.
I
like Ab
Dorian.
Snail.
Ab Snail? Wait, that is cool. The Sapphire Lady. I like it.
I love it. But yeah, rest in piss, Internet Explorer. You know who else can rest in piss? Activision Legal.
Oh, love that. Yes. Activision Blizzard Legal can always rest in pisses.
I cannot believe they did the meme. They literally did the meme.
They literally did the meme. They investigated themselves.
It's just rake stepping.
Anything.
How are they rake stepping so much? How?
This is their brand. Okay. So they want this deal to go through.
Yeah, of course.
They want this Microsoft deal to go through. Okay. They investigated themselves and cleared themselves of wrongdoing. And the thing that they said about it was like, there is no evidence to prove that, there was widespread harassment. Because you shredded it.
Yeah.
You shredded the evidence. The DFEH called you out for shredding the evidence. HR mass quit because you asked them to shred the evidence. That's why there is no evidence.
Yeah.
So using that as an argument, it's not an argument. It's just a technicality, which is how they're trying to get through all of this.
Guys, it's okay. It's okay to get called out for destroying the evidence, because when they take us to court, no evidence.
No evidence. No evidence.
Would you rather have all evidence, no evidence but no victims, or all evidence but no evidence? You know, like what would you know?
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I did that right. We need Josh here.
We need Josh here. I agree.
Okay, you know what sounds so
the Call
sad?
of Duty publisher says it's the victim of unrelenting barrage of media criticism. No.
No.
It's
true. That's true. It's just fair criticism.
It's fair.
That statement is 100% That's one of those things they do, right? This is what these companies fucking do. They say a statement like this that like with their inflection, how they mean it, and then when you try to use it against them, they're like, well, it's true. Like, this is a fact, and it's like, well, you don't mean it like that. Like, we all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They deserve all of the criticism they're getting because they refuse to be accountable. If they held themselves accountable and said, you know what, we fucked up, like there's been decades of this problem and we're going to actively work to fix it, then people would probably not be harassing them online. But the fact that they refuse to take accountability, they refuse to even acknowledge that there's a problem, and then they're saying that they're the victim of this like unrelenting campaign. Why is it unrelenting? Because you won't hold yourself accountable?
Yeah.
No accountability?
Yeah.
That's why.
It's insane. Also, I want to introduce a new bonus segment called the Mike Knowles Challenge of the Week, which isn't a weekly segment. It's just you have a week to do it. Whoever tweets at the weekly stand-up account with the best meme in relation to this headline.
Oh, I love that.
So obviously, if you just copy this format, probably not the best. Hey, thanks Pickles for the bit. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, no, it's a fake
Still
bit.
no Pickles.
Is it a fake? No, it's a real bit. It's a real bit. Never mind, just came through. The people, some assholes make emotes that are
like fake
emotes.
bits.
Yeah, and then they'll you can use like the text, internet text changers to change it, but it just came through the feed. Thank you so much, Pickles.
Wait,
sorry I
it's
doubted
Bubble. You. No, it's Bubble Bass. That's a SpongeBob reference.
It is.
Still no Pickles.
You forgot the pickles. Yeah, it's a great one.
That's me every time Activision Blizzard refuses to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. Anyway, whoever makes the best meme in response to this headline and tweets that weekly stand-up this week, I'll gift you a sub next stream if you also come in. So
that's nice.
I'll retweet it on Sunday for our Go Live show thing. If I don't, just yell at me. And when you come into the show, I'll gift it to you.
Heck yeah. I love it.
But I hate this. This is awful.
Yeah.
How are the you're actually obviously involved. how are the lawsuits or not the lawsuits, the
How are the
challenges
lawsuits?
the challenges to the settlement of the state going?
Ongoing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including myself, who were affected by the issues at Activision Blizzard have not signed on to the EEOC settlement for a specific reason,
Right.
in that if you do, you're forfeiting the right for California to represent you. And California, the DFEH, has all of my evidence. So essentially, they can, if you get the settlement, they can delete your HR file. So any evidence, like if you were to argue against them in the DFEH in court, they can technically say, well, we don't even have a file on her. So, and then you're also, if you were wrongfully terminated at the time, it gets rewritten and says that you resigned. So
cool. I love the ability to change history with money. It's awesome.
Right?
So cool.
So it's not even a lot of money because there's so many people affected. So like a couple $100 probably.
No, I just mean that like Activision can literally pay money and be like, they were an employee. Like
Yeah. Or like we don't have the evidence, so it's not real. It's he said, she said versus. And then they're gonna hope to get in on a technicality, which is what they do, which is like thankfully the NLRB, in the Raven hearing saw through that. But then it's like they know that people don't want to have these exhausting legal battles where they have to literally fight Activision Blizzard like all the time. So
thank you, Bulbass. Thank you for the 2 bits. We talked about it earlier. We're waiting on some alerts to come through because obviously, very deeper, more discussive show. We want our alerts to be like tasteful and like clean and not like very intrusive.
Yeah.
So we're waiting on those to get developed. But we will call you all out if you guys decide to sub and do choose. Jess, are you still offering your offer, by the way, for subs?
Is it the ASMR?
No. The other, I don't want to say it if you're not.
It was a one-time only deal.
One time only. Okay, maybe for Christmas again. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll bring it back once a year. Whenever. Okay, so there. Me and Josh. I don't know if you've heard. Have you heard Kinda Funny before? Okay, so Kinda Funny is a bunch of people who used to work at IGN who like left to do their own, basically like mini IGN essentially, personality driven, including Greg Miller, who you probably have heard of, I would assume, just being in the space. You've seen him at the very least. If you don't know who you've seen him. Anyway, he hosts Dice a bunch of times too, so you've been to Dice, you've definitely seen him.
Yeah.
So they every year have a big stream on their around their anniversary where they do like fundraising for the whole year essentially. So obviously they make money throughout the year, but it's like this is what we need for the year to get by, to do all the new things we want to do, to kickstart these shows, hire new people, etc., whatever. And they'll just like start offering things. So there's stretch goals, but then like in the middle of the stretch goals, they'll be like, for the month, they'll be like, I'll do this crazy shit if you do it. So once a year, like we should do our fundraising, and we should be like, if we hit this level, we'll get feet pics. If we do, from all of us, not just you. If we do this level, we'll get topless. Like
I'll do feet pics.
Feet pics for subs. Okay, anyone who subs by the end of this stream, feet pic.
I'll let you pick my toenail color.
I will not paint my toes, but I will also throw them in if you sub before the end of the stream and DM us.
You get bonus extra toes from Mike.
I you know what? I'll give you a quick flash right now. You ready? Here, I'll give you.
No.
Give you a quick.
We're gonna get taken down.
Quick little. Why? What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
I know the TOS. Okay, ready? If you want to clip it, if you want to screenshot it, get it for free. Here's your chance. Ready?
Oh wait.
Ooh. Right there. There you go. That's what we got. You got the back side.
Sub now to tickle his toes.
Obviously, I didn't give you the good side, so you know. If you don't sub, I'll start posting my feet pics.
Oh, we have an active threat in our chat. If we don't sub, we're gonna start getting Sin's feet.
Prime subs, Salvor, are the best subs because we steal money from Bezos that way. So we would prefer the Primes.
Oh yeah, give me all your Primes.
They are heavily preferred to the regular sub. You know what else is heavily preferred, Jess? Companies not working against their unions.
The workers.
Yes.
I
hold
agree.
On. There we go.
Microsoft agreed to a neutrality agreement with CWA, which is the Communications Workers of America, which I am working with right now to campaign to unionize tech and game industries. This is actually the first time a major, I think they're the third largest tech company in the world, actually, agreed with a labor union to be neutral, remain neutral, meaning they're not going to hire a law firm like Activision Blizzard did. They're not going to actively union bust and engage in illegal surveillance and things that they're not supposed to be doing like Activision Blizzard did. So it's really amazing. And the contract itself is the strongest that I've ever seen between a labor union and like a massive corporation. It's actually setting the precedent for how people should be treating labor unions. So it's cool because I know that like Microsoft came out and said that they had learned a lot about unions and said that they were going to remain neutral, and now they like signed a legal binding document saying we are going to be. So if they're ever found to union bust or anything, this document will be presented to the NLRB along with, you know, any kind of evidence or anything. Yeah, just insane to see. Very unprecedented. Like this has never happened before, and this should be a beacon of light for anyone under Microsoft. You know, it shouldn't just be ABK. Like if you want to unionize at Microsoft, do it. They're remaining neutral in ABK, but you should absolutely fight for those better working conditions for, you know, where you're working in Microsoft. So really exciting. Obviously it was a big day. Like everyone was just like, this is the first time we've ever seen a legal binding document between a corporation and a union that's like this good, right? It's awesome. I'm so excited. It basically means that any union that's formed is going to be automatically recognized by Microsoft. So GWA, any other unions that, you know, come out of ABK.
I want the Microsoft Excel Workers Union. That's what I want.
Oh my god, the Clippy Union.
Oh my god, Clippy becomes Gritty. Clippy becomes the Gritty of the tech world. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Gets co-opted as a mascot. I just like you, fucking love this. This is awesome. A lot of people on Twitter being like, this isn't the same as just being like, we're gonna give in to the Yu-Gi-Oh! One. That's not how it works, right?
But this is a big step. It means that they're going to remain neutral.
I mean, obviously, I speak from like a more like removed perspective than you, but like my general thoughts on this, obviously, it's huge. Like I said, the binding legal document, right, is a huge deal because it's not lip service.
It is.
Like there are repercussions.
It's not. Yeah, it's like putting your money where your mouth is.
It literally is, right? And obviously, there is, you know, like. This is lip service a lot of the time, but it's lip service because there is the smallest part of truth. And this is where the smallest part of truth lives in this. Is that, like, workers, general bottom line workers, they know their conditions, right? But workers do not know the entire scope of business as a whole. Especially companies like Microsoft who have so many fucking divisions, right? And so there needs to be a middle ground. The reason unions work is because unions bring actual, unlike our government, compromise to the table. Unions argue for what they want, the company argues for what they want, and at the end of the day, if done correctly, we meet in the middle where both sides get what they need to do their job and live their life. So obviously, like, anyone who's like idiotically being like, Microsoft should just agree that they're going to agree to the union's demands. It's like, that doesn't work. Because the demands exist to meet somewhere else. They don't, it's like when you're like trying to sell something, right? You be like, I want $1,000, but really you want $700, and you hope they're gonna say $700, and then you say yes. So this is absolutely insane. I literally couldn't believe it. I did not think this was real when I saw it come out.
Like, this shocked me almost as much as when I heard about the purchase of like Activision Blizzard from Microsoft. I was just like, what is going on? Amazing. Also, can I just say, it makes Activision look so childish in comparison because like not only did Activision spend millions of dollars on anti-union consultants, that failed, that lost. I think Microsoft was watching them the whole time and was like, wow, like we're gonna be the savior of like these workers.
Listen, you're talking to Phil, who is the guy who had to come in and just like do the opposite of everything the company was doing at that point. And he's just doing it again. He's like, wait, love it. All I have to do is the opposite? I mean, not that he's that. He's a brilliant leader in the space, in my opinion.
But he's leading by example, is what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely. And he knows. He has, like, he has worked his way up to the position he is in. He knows, like, this isn't Bobby Kotick, who's a fucking, like, company man, who's never worked in video games coming in, right? This is a man who understands that these people are in legitimate dire straits with these needs and wants to make like the best working condition possible for them.
Right.
And all I can say to that is that Bobby, go fuck yourself. Phil, we would love to have you on the show anytime you want to come talk to Jess about unions.
I know. I'm like,
have a
come get coffee with me. Yeah,
on stream. Come get it on stream.
Coffee chat.
Yeah, but this is. I mean, this is. Like, what more could you, at this stage, obviously you can ask for more, but at this stage, with everything going on, what more could you ask for?
Right. No, it's great. It's obviously not a, I know it's hard in the age of like social media giving us sensationalized information all the time to like consider this a win or a loss, right? Like you're like, what does this mean? Like this still means we're still fighting for the union. We're still unionizing. We're still working towards that. It just means that it's going to make our life a little bit easier, which is always great, right? Oh my God, why are you looking at
So
feet pics right now? What
Bubba
are you?
asked for more feet pics. So here you go, Bubba. Here for those videos you gave us. Here's some
Oh
feet
my God,
pics.
whose feet are
There you
these?
go.
Who,
Their feet.
what are those?
There was no specific implication of what feet were desired. I give you feet as you asked. Never say I don't
wonder
give
if
the people
that
what they
person
want.
was a
Never say
ballerina
that.
or something.
Probably. They probably worked very hard. Probably didn't have a union to take care of them either. And like Salvor said, probably got rid of the fucking comfort mats that Starbucks got rid of the other day when they're union voting.
I saw that. Oh my God. So the
Absolutely
union
insane.
busting,
Are you serious?
the
Like,
union busting is disgusting. Union busting is disgusting.
it's so
I'm just
fucking
gonna say.
crazy. It's so crazy.
And it's so illegal. It's so illegal, but these companies do it because they think that their workers are stupid and won't hold them accountable. Literally, Bobby Kotick was like, if I just email all of Activision Blizzard and say none of this happened, it's all like Jedi mind tricks, they're gonna believe it. And then we didn't believe it, and we're still not believing it. So now they sold the company to Microsoft, who's trying to salvage the title. It's
They're
just
trying to
stop thinking
salvage
your workers are
Overwatch.
stupid. Yeah. Hey, Overwatch 2 though.
Yeah, but
Also,
3
Junker
new
Queen?
characters.
Yeah.
And 1 new map, 2 new
Buff
maps.
mommy.
Yeah, she's cool. I'm
like
gonna
her.
play. I'm gonna play the fuck out of it, just like I did the first one.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of Diablo Immortal vibes right now, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, in my opinion. But yeah, no, I think this is huge. Like this is like
No, it is.
and you
And
know, we've
also,
had a
like-
lot of news coming out about the union push in America, workers' rights. This is the first time we are seeing the olive branch from the other side, and I think that's huge.
Yes. It's huge. It is a beacon. It is saying we are going to lead by example in this like huge push to unionize and remain neutral, which is what we asked for in the beginning, but surprisingly that's hard to get. So yeah, really cool. Really excited that we're all kind of living through this time, and I helped, which is weird.
Yeah, you're going to be like enshrined in this in one way or another, you know, not obviously not as, you know, like, you know, a huge
No,
figurehead, but like
yeah.
when people like talk about this in depth, your name is going to come up at some
It's
point.
weird. It's definitely weird. Like, I hope that I give Bobby nightmares. That's all I've ever been in this for, is to give Bobby nightmares. I want him to be afraid of how horribly he treated a lot of my friends over the decades. But yeah, it's cool. It means that like it doesn't matter how big the boss is, if you genuinely care about yourself and the people around you enough, y'all can band together and do something awesome. So
And that also
that's
applies to
just
video
my
games.
little
No,
yeah.
don't mess with gamers. That's the thing. It's like they messed with gamers who
rise
do
up.
this on the regular. It's like we are familiar with this.
We partied up and we beat the boss. Like
Yeah.
we raided. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, God, they underestimate gamers so much.
They
So
do
much.
underestimate gamers. They think we're stupid. They're like, they just want the Call of Duty every year. No. No, we just want better working conditions for the people that make Call of Duty every year.
Yeah.
So
It's great. Well, we're actually like pretty early but tight on this. Jess, anything else you want to talk about as we're wrapping up today? We can also not. I know you have your dad's plans, but like just because we definitely came up with the show's segments like earlier this week. So if there's anything that like came through,
anybody
you
in
wanna talk about.
chat, like I'm gonna give like a minute for chat to come up with a topic.
Or
and
Q
then
and A
if they don't
even
come up
if
with
you guys
anything-
have any questions.
Or Q&A, yeah, if you have any questions. What would you name your union if you were like a Microsoft union? I don't know. Give us something, chat.
The clip heads.
Clippies.
The clip heads. The clip heads. No, clippies is too easy. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, what about like Labor Explorer, like Internet Explorer,
Ooh.
macro hard, nice.
Macro.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Macro hard and Union strong. Let's go.
I actually really like that one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Trying
to think of like the like
Oh, you know
ultimate-
what? I want to talk about something real quick. I'm getting it up.
Yeah.
So if you want to
Let's do it.
If you keep vamping for a minute, I want to get it up. It's
Yeah,
actually
no,
little,
I was
it's a
just
little
thinking
sad
like the
actually,
ultimate
but
the ultimate labor union in the United States for tech like would have a cool name, you know, something like uh what's like
what's like a good like big name? So like not Skynet, but like something like Skynet that's
no, oh my God,
positive.
no.
Right, but something that
Yeah.
has like it's a powerful name in like sci-fi, you know?
Yeah. Like
Oh, you excited for Final Fantasy? All the Final Fantasy stuff coming out at all?
yes,
Yeah.
always. I love Final Fantasy.
I've
Yeah.
never played the like a lot of the older stuff like 7 because I just like could not
Mm.
like I have a PlayStation growing up and then also just like wasn't
Yeah, my
interested
cousin had all of
in
those.
like that time sink. But I love remake and I'm so excited for all the new remake content coming out. Like it's super cool.
Heck yeah. I know I love the music and everything about it. You're
Where's
just
where's the thing?
what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the retweet to start out.
Oh yeah.
So now you're getting all my cursed AI stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm like going through your feed. I'm just like, oh, this is like the Mike show.
Oh yeah, here. I just want to talk about real quick. Shout out to anyone if you've enjoyed like video games and animation.
Oh,
Last week, voice actor Billy Kametz died at the age of 35 to colon cancer.
So young.
Yeah, way too young. I actually grew up like county over for me. I didn't know until I got out here. I didn't know him like super well. I interacted with him a few occasions when I was working at a studio, and at a gathering with some friends once. But literally just like one of the most like funny, positive people. Like he's one of those people like there are people you meet in your life, right? Who are like, and they're usually popular kids too, right? But like there are people who like everyone is drawn to. They're like a big ray of like warm sun, and they're just like you just want to socialize with them because you feel recharged interacting with them. And that's the kind of person he was. He was in Persona 4. I think it was Persona 4. It was the one with the doctor. Bunch of like a absolute like metric ton of video games for like how short his career actually was out here in VO.
Wow.
And if you guys would support
Huge
him and his
impact.
family, yeah. Let me just pull it up real quick. There's a GoFundMe if you Google it for him and his family. They're dealing with a lot right now, especially because a bunch of fans are going to the funeral as fans. Don't do that. Don't be weird.
Yeah, don't be weird.
It's a lot of
don't
stress
show up at
coming
people's
up.
houses. Don't stalk Amouranth.
Yeah, don't do that. And
it goes without saying, like it's partially why we're seeing people leave public spaces, like Jenna Marbles famously, because it's like she had to literally keep telling people not to show up at her house, which is like, come on, that's an obvious boundary. You know, people are people. They're people and then entertainers. They don't live to entertain you.
Yeah. Yeah, Marvel's Academy. This is not the one you worked on, or was that a different one? You worked on
I worked on Strike Force, which is a mobile game.
Yeah, Blasphemous Cross, Brawl Stars, AFK Arena, Fire Emblem Three Houses. He was he was Ferdinand in Fire Emblem 3000. That's like his big one.
I like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, he did such a good job in that role too. Fire Emblem Heroes.
Condolences to his family and everyone who's been impacted by him.
Yeah, there's just
it's sad. It's so young too. I wish we had better healthcare. I wish this country didn't like monetize off people being sick.
Yeah, his last game is still coming out. He reprised his role for the new Fire Emblem coming out. Not the new Fire Emblem, but the new Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem coming out.
Nice.
So that'll be the last chance to see his work. I'm sure he killed it there too. But yeah, it's really sad and just just appreciate people. Like again, going back to the Amouranth thing, like everyone's human. You don't know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And if someone gives you that kind of joy, there are extremely respectful ways to show them that,
Yes, absolutely.
And make sure you do that, but like also know where those boundaries are, like not going to a funeral of someone you don't know.
Exactly. It kind of like goes without saying a bit. I mean, given the way like the internet is, sometimes people need that guidance to say like maybe don't do this thing that you're thinking about doing, because like you can care for someone deeply and they have impacted your life. Like I grew up watching Jenna Marbles literally all the time.
Yeah. So
I feel like I grew old with her kind of, because like every Wednesday, Thursday, I would like watch a new video from her, and then I would see like the progression over time. But even then, I never once felt entitled to her time. You know what I mean? Like it was something that like I chose to watch on my time. It did make me feel happy. Like I liked seeing the updates, stuff like that. But if I ever saw her in public, I think I would just like, I'm the type of person who I'm like, oh, that's so and so. But then like I wouldn't go bother them unless they were actively like You know what I mean? Like having a meet and greet or something, because
Like
it's
it
just
was
like
VidCon.
not.
Like this is the scenario where they expect it to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like even if you're like running into someone grocery shopping, you know, I think that I don't know. Should feel like people when they're not entertaining. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always felt that way, and I just have seen like the stuff that paparazzi does to like TMZ, like the stuff that they do to celebrities. It's just really sad. I
You
wish
saw
we
the
had
Tom
like.
Hanks video, right?
I actually didn't.
What?
I didn't
Did you
see
not?
that.
Oh my god, wait. It's
No.
like,
We
Tom
could do a
Hanks,
live react
still a king.
before we.
Yeah, it's still a king. Here, I'll pull it all up.
I saw him reacting to people about the Toy Story thing, about the
That
Buzz
was
Lightyear
that
thing.
was a good one too. I don't know if this is the 8.3. Okay, this is the main video. Yeah, 8.3 billion views. Okay, hold on.
What is it? Or do you want to just give me no context?
Just watch. I'm glad that this doesn't give context. Just watch.
Okay.
Listen. Here we go.
Guys, we're going right this way, right there. I'll bring some items. I bought some items.
How you doing?
It's been a long
Be
time.
careful, Tom.
Watch out. Move. Oh, you my son. It's been a long time, Tom. How you been?
Whoa.
Wait.
What
are you doing?
Back the fuck off!
What are y'all doing?
King.
Good for him.
Knock it over my wife.
Yeah, they're bugging. Sorry about that. They're bugging out. These people are.
Come on, man.
Sorry about that.
Good for him.
I just love how like the other fucking like weirdo fans or paparazzi are like, oh yeah, that's their fault. Like as if like this isn't a group fucking result. Like
It's stupid, and it's part of the reason why like I really want to get away from this message of like, well, they're a celebrity, they should deal with it.
God,
right?
my
Because
dad
they
has that
get
thought,
money.
and I hate it so much.
It's
I'm like, would you want this to happen to
awful.
me? Like, I'm not saying
It's
I'm gonna be this
awful.
big, but like, would you want
Yeah.
this to happen to me?
Yeah, like I don't care who you are. I don't care, you know, no one deserves to literally be filmed from the moment they're in a public space, like unless they're a cop, because film all cop.
Right.
But-
Because they have an excess of power to wield.
Exactly. But like in this situation, right, like his wife is just trying to walk. And I could even see before she tripped, people were actively blocking her space because they wanted to get like the view in front of Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like they wanted to film themselves like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't care who you are. Like you'll get like 15 likes on Facebook.
Yeah. This is also like this like what is that video, right? It's like, oh look, I walked down the street with Tom Hanks. There's 1,500 people trying to walk
I
with Tom
tripped
Hanks,
his wife.
and he's not talking to me. And it's like,
Yeah.
just go take a selfie in front of a green screen
Like-
and put him behind you. It's like the same thing. He doesn't know you exist. Like,
I guarantee like the people that watch that video are just gonna be like, you're weird.
yeah.
Because that's what I would do. I'd be like, look at this weird person who's actively blocking someone's walkway,
Also, I
trying to
can't-
like film.
I love this one freeze frame of the one guy who's like getting yelled at by Tom Hanks and just like has no emotion. It's like,
Yeah.
do you actually like this guy? Because again, you should feel like go back to our shame discussion. You should feel bad
Yes.
in this moment.
You
And
should.
you don't look like you feel bad. So.
It's part of the entitlement culture that we need to get away from. Like, it's why when you hear people say things like, oh, well, they're a celebrity, they should expect this. It's like, while yes, it's normal for celebrities to be stalked by paparazzi, no, that doesn't mean that it's okay. You know, like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's
But
kind of weird.
Thank
Thanks
you for the
sussy
bits.
Sussy bits among us.
yeah, Chungus Fungus is among us.
Oh man. All right, well that seems like a good place to wrap. Unless there's
You're like, let's end the show.
well, I just know you got plans, so I just wanted to make sure. Like we don't have any more
Oh,
topics.
I appreciate it.
So no
yeah,
one
it's
came in
Father's
anything.
Day today. It's also my dad's birthday because he's extra and has to have his birthday on Father's Day.
Of course, yes.
So
Go
so
go
I
tell
gotta-
the father or father figure in your life how much you love them. Send them a text even. Something
Unless
simple as
they're
that.
a bitch.
Right, that's why I said father or father figure, because make sure
Yeah.
they're actually a father to you.
For
gonna
people
be
that
mothers,
are
too.
okay, for those of you who it's Father's Day and this day is really emotionally charged for you, I suggest that you do this one self-care as a treat. Do yourself a self-care.
Fathers
Enjoy
hate her
something that
one
you like.
secret trick.
Yeah, do a self-care. Everyone loves a good heckin' self-care. Watch something, cry, eat ice cream. Those are all good things.
Hell yeah.
And don't harass celebrities or Amouranth.
Don't harass
please.
anyone. How about just don't harass?
Don't harass anyone. Thank you. That's like
this is
the
this
reason
is the
I'm
one
here.
time. This is the one
It's-
time where the all blank matters is right. It's like
It's
don't
great.
harass
Don't
everyone.
harass
Don't harass
anybody.
everyone.
Don't- Unless they're a bully. Bullies.
Well, that's not
but only
harassment.
because they're bullies.
That's not harassment. That's justice. There's a
Accountability.
difference. That's accountability. Yeah.
True. But to people that have never been oppressed in their life, accountability feels like oppression. So they will call you a bully.
Wait, can I do
I've been called a bully.
Can I do my impression of Republicans from January 6th getting accountability?
Yes.
Right now? Here we go.
I love this. See, this is content you don't get when Josh hosts. Oh.
Well. But it ain't the consequences of my own actions that I'll ever actually face. Yeehaw. Also, no abortion. Yeehaw. That's it. That's a bit. I actually thought I had a cowboy hat in here, and I don't. I went to go look for it.
It's like POV, I'm a Republican, and you told me people deserve to get paid correctly for their labor.
But they're like punching air, though. They're not actually like punching air.
Yeah.
They're like shadow boxing like real bad. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode of the Weekly Stand Up. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, hit that follow button. We're live every Sunday here, 1 p.m. PST.
Yeah.
We'll have some more content getting churned out for you guys. You can also find the archives over on YouTube. So this is your first episode. You want to go watch some more, or you're gonna miss one. You go to youtube.com Weekly Stand Up. Don't put that as a link. We don't have the custom link yet. Just search it, Weekly Stand Up. It's also in all of our about section down below. Jess, where can
everyone tweet at Josh? Everyone tweet at Josh and tell them how great Mike did today.
Thank you.
Also, you can find me at _TechJess on Twitter. I mostly bully Elon Musk. I do post about Activision Blizzard stuff and activism stuff and workers' rights, labor movements, etc., etc. Also memes. Love memes. Tweet me memes. Again, thanks for joining us this Sunday. Aw, thanks. And thanks for the bits. Oh my gosh, Bubble Bass, like
Thank
MVP.
You.
Appreciate
biddies,
you.
Biddies. We'll be your digital mall fountain to throw your pennies into. You can find me at twitch.tv/TheMoneyMike. I'm actually streaming again tonight, 5 p.m. PST. We're opening Pokemon cards with my girlfriend. Just be chill little stream. You guys like gaming? Play through all the Dark Souls franchise right now. So if you like that, come watch me suffer. I know Buckle's been enjoying watching me suffer.
Hey.
Do we have a guest next week lined up, or?
I don't know if we do yet.
Okay, no announcement on guests for next week. Just want to make sure we hit that.
Yeah.
Let me get while you're getting links. Let me just get the YouTube link real quick for people.
We like to interview devs and people in the wider like game space.
If you are or you know someone in the game space who would love to come on and talk about game development or unionization, reach out to us at twitter.com/weeklystandup or in our Discord.
And if you're a Microsoft executive and you want to have coffee with me and talk about labor and
now some employees are complaining.
Sorry about that.
That was actually perfect timing.
It's a perfect cutoff. Now some employees are complaining.
That's literally okay. So like that clip is exactly what Reed Smith,
soundboard.
Activision Blizzard's lawyers were trying to say. Like employees are just complaining. So that was perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us on the YouTubes, and thanks for hanging out today and chatting with us. I always love when chat engages because then I get to like word vomit my thoughts, which is always great. And
I just like it because it makes me feel like I'm not alone in my apartment.
I know.
That's been 2 years. I'm sick of it.
But yeah, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for co-hosting with me, Mike.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure to co-host with you. I always appreciate it. Josh, if you're watching this...
Can we get some deep prayers here? Can we get some... Okay, yes. Excellent.
Josh, if you're watching this, have fun in the... What's he doing? Camping?
In the woods.
Have fun camping.
Have fun camping.
I hope you don't get diarrhea, because that's like the worst thing to do when camping, so... I don't know why, but... Eat some
Is that how we're
food.
ending the show? I hope you don't get diarrhea.
Hey, having diarrhea while camping is actually a nightmare, so it's a nice wish on this Father's Day.
I had it happen once when I was in Boy Scouts, and I can agree, it's not great.
In Boy Scouts, that's awful because you're around like other boys who are like making fun of you.
And because one of the boys definitely cooked the food wrong, and that's why I got diarrhea. So, yeah.
Rip. Dubious food. No bidet in the woods. That's true. I actually have a bidet. Everyone should have a bidet.
Well, if you find, all you gotta do is like Flintstone it. You find a fish, you have it, pucker up, and then you just squeeze it behind you. You know, that's your bidet.
I wonder if bears use. Never mind. We should end the show.
No. Say the question, and then I want anyone.
I wonder
if
bears use them as bidets.
Okay, great. So now everyone, you have a week to think about this. Do bears use fish as bidets? And next week we need to come back and chat, and you need to tell us what you think about bears using fish as bidets.
Oh my lord!
Until then, have a good week. We'll see y'all next week. Ta-ta.
Everyone have a good week. Happy Sunday. See ya.